If I do 2 2s, that really is a 4. That probably didn't work. It's week 2 of our UFO challenge. Yes, I am wearing the same thing I was wearing last week. Potentially the week before. But you know what? That's just because this talking head stuff, I batch these. So in the interest of time and, you know, being organized, I have filmed all of these intros and outros at the same time, but believe me, I am sewing alongside you when I'm actually doing my work. I just don't want to have to bother to do my hair and makeup all the time. All right, so what is the unfinished object assignment for week 2 of UFO February? It is unfinished gifts. Okay, maybe some of you don't have unfinished gifts hanging around, but I sure do because... Hang on, I'm gonna grab it. So, one of my best, most dearest friends in the world, when she had her baby boy 6 months after I had my oldest, so this is almost 8 years now, I made him a quilt. It was my first time on mat leave. It was the first quilt I ever made. I was like super proud of it. I like cross-stitched this poem in the middle of it, a poem that I wrote for him on the day that he was born. And I was like super proud of it. And it was, you know, when you give a gift and you're like, I'm so happy I was able to give that gift. Like, I'm so proud of that gift and I know it will be loved and cherished. And so I committed in that moment, like, because it was so personalized, because I had a poem for him, that if they had any more kids, I would do a quilt for each kid, because I didn't, like, obviously, I mean, you have one kid and you use the same stuff, you reuse as much as you can, but because it's personalized, I really wanted to keep up if they had any more kids. I have not kept up. So they had baby 1, then they got married. Then a couple years ago they had baby 2, so I took my bridesmaid's dress and I cut it up in 2 quilt squares, and I had a whole plan for what new baby's quilt was going to be. And everything, like, I think pretty much everything. Oh, there's a bit. Oh, I think I was keeping this for bias binding for around the edges. But anyway, this is the bridesmaid's dress, completely cut into squares. It takes up a crazy amount of space. Yeah, she had baby number 2 a couple years ago, and has just had baby number 3. I'm now 2 quilts behind. Yeah, I need to get on with it. Like, ain't nothing to it but to do it. So this week's assignment is catching up on any unfinished gifts. Now, if you don't have any gifts, I strongly recommend you not take this week off from the challenge, because there's probably something that you've not been sewing for yourself that maybe you want. So take this week to give a gift to yourself if you're not catching up on a gift for somebody else. So that is what's happening here. I have 2 quilts to make this week. Okay, I did it again. That's 4, that's not 2. I should not be in charge of teaching my 4-year-old numbers, I guess. I was originally gonna do like a stained glass window quilt. I did one for my daughter, and I just really love that quilt block. But I think what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna split all the squares that I have up into 2 separate quilts, and I'll just give them both their quilts at the same time. I don't know if I'm going to make a poem in the next 2 quilts or not. The whole reason why their first baby got a quilt with a poem in it was because I just was inspired on the day he was born to write a poem. My eldest, who was born 6 months before him, she was born on the first snowfall, and he was born on the first rain shower of the spring. And so that just sort of, it was a thing. I felt inspired. I wrote him a poem. He was actually late, and so I made the whole poem about how, like, he wasn't late, the rain was late, like we were waiting for the rain to bring him, kind of a thing. I don't have a copy of it anymore, but that's the gist of the poem. So I don't know if I'm gonna do poems, but I am gonna divide the squares up and see, let's see what we can make of this. And as I mentioned, I am pre-filming this, and I'm a little scared right now. I don't know what I've got myself into. Whatever, it's the challenge. I need this bag gone. This is like, it's massive. This takes up too much space. It was a big dress. It was a really big dress. So that is what I'm gonna do. Psyching myself up. Okay, I will get this done, and then by the time this video is edited, it will be done, and you will get to see it in, like, it's all together. And it'll be great. Okay. Let me know in the comments below, what gifts are you catching up on this week, or what gift are you gonna make yourself? Let me know. I will see you next week for UFO February's week 3 challenge. I hope that you have fun making gifts for people this week and clearing a bit more of that stuff out of your space.